how to attract more deposits from millennials. Very, very interesting topics, and this is the question I got from one of the audience. Now, before I get started, if you are serious about growing deposits, you can check out the webinars that I created where I share with you the entire strategy on how to grow, how a bank grew with deposits $2.9 million in 90 days by typing go to bankwebinar.com. So this question I got from John. Okay, so he asked, when I asked him what is the number one challenge in growing deposits, and he said, the number one toughest deposit questions is how community banks really get their share of deposits from the millennials, right? So this is a very, very interesting topic because I did a case study for Capital One, and so back in the mid 2000s, and Capital One with only 29 million accounts, and they had never executed or sustained an advertising campaign before. They're just like a regular banks, right? So what happened is that they launched a campaign called "What's in Your Wallet," right? So that campaign is really helped Capital One become the household name back in 2001, where they reached 90% of brand awareness, and then increased the total number of accounts to over 40 million accounts. So that's really interesting. With that success, right? They were able to think about, okay, so if that thing worked, what if we just relaunch the campaign with a new twist? And that's exactly what they did in 2015 when they reactivated their famous campaign, "What's in Your Wallet?" But this one with the new twist. And here's what I meant. The new campaign is going to be called Wallet Stories. And before I go further into Wallet Story, if you are serious about growing deposits, you may want to check out the webinar that I prepared for you by typing go to bankwebinar.com. Again, that is go to bankwebinar.com. Okay, so what's happening about the Wallet Stories? So this is the campaigns where it is run entirely on Instagram. Now, Instagram is where a lot of millennials are congregating, and so the entire objective of the campaign is to redefine what's in your wallet taglines. And the campaign, took about 5 weeks from start to finish, and the main main theme is they leverage something called user-generated content, right? And so basically they reach out to about 5 Instagram influencers and ask them to document their own wallet story kind of experience from their own perspective. What does wallet story mean to them, right? And then they took photos, they shared with their own friends, and then eventually Capital One will select some of the pictures or the photos to really put on their social account, on the social media account. And as you realize, those are some of the photos that those Instagram influencers took, right? And as you can see, they have, from different angles, from my favorite trip to, like different, the photo of my childhood, and so on and so forth, that really create the very, very enticing dynamics and that really touch, that really connect with the target audience, in this case, that is the millennials. So again, the user-generated content is not only used by Capital One, it's also used by Warby Parkers when they ask their fans to put on the glasses, right, and then share with the fans on Twitter. And so the Starbucks, right? Starbucks they launch a campaign to really decorate the cup and share with on Instagrams, right? As you can see, over 247,000 likes about one particular cup decoration, right? So it's really successful. Okay, so I want to share with you about the results of the Wallet Story campaigns. So the impact that Capital One is that it creates an ad recall of 16%, right? particularly among the Gen Xers and baby boomers, and as well as for people about 45 or older, the ad recall is about increased to 25%. Now, for the brand favorability for people between 21 and 24, the brand favor point shot up to 3%, right? So as you can see, just one campaign that really capture the attention from the young generations as well as for the old generation as well, right? So, so this is a bonus for you, right? So before you go into the bonus, I want to remind you, if you are interested in growing deposits, you may want to check out the webinar where I share with you the entire strategy on how a bank grew its deposit to $2.9 million in 90 days by typing go to bankwebinar.com. Okay, so here the bonus of me showing you how to build your own user-generated campaign so that you can attract the younger generation or whatever type of audience that you want to attract to. Okay, so there are 3 steps that you want to pay attention to. The first one is called planning. What does plannings mean? Plannings, there are 3 steps in the plannings. Well, the first one is that you need to decide or determine the product. What is the primary focus of your product? Okay, and then you want to decide about your target audience. Who are they? Are you targeting the millennials? Are you targeting the baby boomers? Are you targeting, the engineers or who else, right? And then you want to determine the social platform where your target audience is hanging out, right? It's very simple, right? And again, this is the primary focus of the products, and this is the type of content or the medium that you want to pay attention to. And same thing, this is Twitters that you may want to pay attention to. Okay, so step 2 is this is where you will launch the entire campaigns, and when you launch, we need to announce the contest on social media platforms. You can do on Instagrams, you can do like what Starbucks did on their campaigns, or you can use Twitters like Warby Parker's when they announce their campaigns on Twitters. So that was it. Make sure that you choose the right platform to announce your campaigns. And the last step is basically you are spreading the word about your campaigns. Now this is where you need to pay a lot of effort to really promote your campaigns not only from your customer file, from your email subscribers, from your partners, and of course don't forget the social media platform that you need to pay attention to. You use them effectively to promote about your user-generated campaigns. And by the way, before I forgot, if you were interested in growing deposit, you can check out the webinars by typing go to bankwebinar.com, where I share with you the entire strategy of a bank who grew the deposit to $2.9 million in 90 days.